angles right. I think it looks good. Let me sit down. Do you notice the mismatched top and bottoms? I wasn't about to put on a skirt too if you're mostly going to see the top. So hi, how are you? Welcome. I'm looking over here like the camera's there, but it's here. How are you, everybody? I've got a laptop over here so that I can see you and say hello to you. This live stream is going to be pretty impromptu, pretty informal. I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, catch up with you if you have time and just do some fun stuff on this channel for a refreshing change. Not to say that tarot isn't fun, but I haven't done something like this in a long, long time. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for dropping in and joining me. We're going to be trying some international snacks because I received another box and I have not opened this yet. I was supposed to open it ages ago, so I'm pretty keen to see what country this is from and to kind of delve into that. But I'm not gonna lie, I already had breakfast, so while we're trying treats, I'm also going to be doing my makeup and we're gonna try to make me look like a fairy. That's why I'm wearing this top. It doesn't match the bottom, but that's why I'm wearing this top. But hi and welcome. I'm going to be checking the chat, so please feel free to put any comments in there or any questions, any suggestions for the fairy makeup. That would be keen. That would be amazing. That's not your toy. Play with your toys. So while I do this, how did Aries full moon treat you guys? I'm curious. How did you go with Aries full moon? I'm going to put like a layer of makeup on and then I'm going to try some treats. I'm still trying to figure out if by the end I should pull like a collective message or something as well. We'll see how I feel. But how did you guys feel with the Aries full moon? I know we're about to come into a new moon, but I am, oh wait, we have already had the new moon. Oh no, it's coming up. I was not prepared for that full moon shift. I did not see it, like I wasn't thinking about it. It just kind of happened and it completely impacted all my sleep and just the dreams I was having became very intense, very crazy. So let me know, how did you handle this Aries full moon? Yeah, yes. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. You know, I haven't actually checked what placement Aries is in for me, if I have an Aries placement. Let me have a look real quick. But that makes sense. If it's in your 12th house, your dreams are going to be crazy because my dreams were insane. Good boy, play with your toys. Yoda's just floofing around. No, you got COVID? Oh, I hope you recover quickly. That sucks though, I'm so sorry. Especially when all of that's going on energetically, like you're already depleted. Why would you, oh, so annoying. I hope you feel better soon. I hope you recover very quickly and I hope it doesn't knock you around too much. Let me have a look, I'm curious. I'm just gonna quickly jump onto a free birth chart site and check when where my Aries sits because I don't know if I even have an Aries placement. But I'm pretty keen for this new moon in Scorpio. That should be hella crazy. I'm excited because I do have some like a stellium in my 8th house and I'm just keen to kind of get shit moving, for lack of a better word. Like I'm keen to just be at a point where like I can just kind of move things forward multiple layer. It's going to be intense. It's going to be really intense. I'm just quickly checking my Aries placement. Sun is in my 8th house. Wow. So my Sun, my Mercury, my Mars, my Uranus, my Neptune are all in the 8th house. But when it comes to Aries, I don't actually have any placements except for Aries being in my 9th house. So I guess that's why I was really restless. What are you chewing on? What are you chewing on? Where's your toys? Where's your toys? Oh my god, where are all your toys? Gotta constantly keep him entertained because he's just forever. Okay, let's do something fun then. Let's open this up and let's try some snacks. I'm curious because I don't know what country this could be from. I left this way too late. I was supposed to do this like 2 weeks ago. I'm so bad. Oops. Okay. I got too many oracle decks around me. Protect the decks. But yeah, let me know. I'm still reading comments. Yeah, I've got so much going on in my 8th house. A lot of stuff happening in my 8th house. Where are you? Where are your stelliums? I'm always intrigued about stelliums. Oh, wow. So Natalie, you have a Scorpio stellium. That's going to be exciting. Don't be too worried. Just expect yourself to feel like, ooh, I don't know. See, Capricorn is in my 8th house. That's why, like, I am molded and, like, I don't know, like, I get really, as I've gotten older, I realize that I have a very twisted side to me. That's, like, not to the point where I should be on a watch list or anything. Like, damn, I'm a functioning, safe member of society. But I just get intrigued by really odd things. So this is the flag of the country's treats that we're trying today. Does anybody recognize? I recognize the flag. It's Poland. I'm sorry for dropping that on you. I shouldn't have spoiled it for everybody, but I just got so excited because we haven't tried any snacks from Europe yet, or Scandinavia. I think Poland is like on the border, but I'm pretty keen. Oh my god, this is going to be so exciting. Okay, where am I at with my makeup? Okay, so we've opened the box. I might put my foundation down and then we'll try the first. Oh wow. Oh wow. I'm excited. A Virgo stellium. Oh, Sagittarius stellium. I like that. Interesting. I feel like I should add that the stellium I have in my 8th house is in Capricorn. So yeah. It's like, it's a lot. But wow. You have a stellium in your 9th house. How does that feel, Cassandra? Does that give you like a strong pull sometimes? Like, I could imagine like being in the 9th house, you'd either feel like you're constantly seeking, or it would get very frustrating sometimes if you're really wanting to just focus on like being a quote unquote like regular person. I feel like that could kind of pull you to want to expand and to want to learn more about life and about just spirituality. But I feel like even if you want to travel, like if you're feeling restrained by monetary or material things, it would be a very like, and then I think I could see how you would feel guilty as well for wanting to do all those things while also maybe having serious responsibilities. Or yeah, it's a lot. I feel like that would, like having a stellium in your 9th house would be like pilgrim energy. Like you're meant to kind of explore and test boundaries and push limits and discover new things and expand and travel and learn more about other religions and societies. So if you can't, I feel like that would be very frustrating. Okay, I'm just gonna do some foundation and then we're gonna let tarot pick the colors that I'm doing. I know that I'm wearing like pink and purple and green, but I want to bring spirit into this. Let's see what colors spirit will encourage me to wear as a fairy. Other than the Aries full moon, I did want to talk to you guys about protection, because also not in like a guidance counselor way. I'm not your guidance counselor, but be safe, please. Protect yourself sexually as well. I'm talking about energy, like spirituality, spiritual protection. I just have lately, with a lot of changes in the energy of the beautiful stars and sky above us, as well as the transitions that I've had in my personal life, I've been experiencing a lot of supernatural stuff. Weird, unexplainable events And I'm a very skeptical person when it comes to that kind of stuff, because I know that I keep my home extra, extra safe. And I know that I am very, very, very protected. So I was very skeptical at first. I was like, you know what, this can't be what I think it is. It can't be a crazy spirit that's gotten in and is moving things. But lately, like since the full moon in Aries, I've been experiencing so many like little things that have like really built. And I'm only sharing this because I want to promote safe practices on my channel. I want to make sure that if you're drawn to the occult, or if you're trying to practice divination, especially where you're constantly channeling energy and acting as a conduit, you're doing so safely, and you're doing so in a way where you're protecting yourself and whoever else is involved, whether that's somebody that you're reading for or whether that's other people in your household. Because I've recently extended my household. My little brother is with me, so I have more reason to be extra protective and cautious and careful. So with that being said, I noticed a little while ago some little things happening around the house, like little things like I would walk into a room and something would fall on the floor. And with Yoda in the house, like I don't know where most of these things are. If it's within his reach, he's got it in his mouth at one point in time and he's putting it in another location. So I was constantly having to like teach him, like, this is your toy, that's not your toy, this is your toy, that's not your toy, because I didn't want to have to move everything up. I was like, oh, but it's like having a toddler in the house. So at first I kind of ignored it because I'm like, maybe the toddler moved it. Maybe the toddler had that in his mouth and he put it down in an unstable way. And then it started to go to a higher level that he can't reach. And I was like, this is not Yoda anymore. Even if it was at some point, this is not him now. And what I want to say is, for me personally, with the way that I have practiced cleansing and protecting my home and my loved ones' houses, if it's happening inside your house, it is more than likely an energy that you have already invited in. And if you haven't recently invited any crazy energies into your house, then it is probably an ancestor, a family member, or someone who already works closely with you. So for me, the fact that I started seeing it happen inside the house from the beginning was telling me that this has to be a family or an ancestor or someone who I've already been working with who's trying to warn me about something. But signs to look out for if it's a malicious spirit is if you see it on the outside of your house. For example, maybe it's a reflection in the window as you're looking out. Maybe there's a shadow that you're seeing around the outside of your house. Maybe there are dead animals appearing around the outside of your house. Unusually, obviously, if you have a cat who's always hunting, this wouldn't just be that sort of regular occurrence. It would be in an unusual way that you're not used to seeing dead animals around the house. And also really strong odors and smells around the outside of the house. They will start outside, and then when they come in is when you really need to strengthen the fort and put some protection in place. So for me, because I wasn't experiencing any of that, I didn't see it as a malevolent, malicious energy. And I've been like talking to other people about it too, and I was thinking, okay, so this has to be someone that I already know, who I'm already working with, but who? And I don't know if I've shared this with a lot of you, but this year has been really emotionally draining because I've had like 4 funerals and 3 of them were close family members, and the 4th one was someone who was close to the family. So it's been like a lot. There's been a lot of deaths. We've even had births. And so we just don't know, like, at this point, but it's happening to a few of my family members. And I guess the main reason I'm sharing this is I wanted to tell you that how I handled it when I realized that, okay, it's somebody that I probably used to love or who cares about me, who isn't malevolent, but it is intrusive. Like, it escalated to the point where 2 days ago I had my smoke alarms going off for no reason, like 5 times in a 1 day situation. And it was getting so out of control, like nothing I could do would turn the smoke alarms off. Like I had to call my real estate and be like, please send someone over, this is getting ridiculous. I need to either reset the whole thing or you need to tell me how to turn these off manually. And they gave me instructions to do it, and I turned them off manually to the point where the battery had been switched off. I went about my day, nothing else sort of happened for a good 5 hours. I picked my little brother up from school, we went to the gym, we come home at like 7:30 and the smoke alarms are going off again. And the ones that had triggered it were the ones that had no battery, no power to them, and they were the ones that were going off. So it's really escalated to the point where I'm like, this is getting intrusive, invasive, and even if you're a family member, I don't like it. So I'm sharing this story with you in case like you've been experiencing stuff recently too, because I noticed like a few people who I tell are saying like, yeah, Lorraine, like I've been through something similar. And this is how I'm going to handle it. I'm going to walk around my house and I will write this down actually. I have a chant that I say to help protect me and help me feel safe, but to make sure that I am not discrediting the reason why these things might be happening as well. Where is my pen? Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to be writing it with purple, so hopefully you can see this. I'll write it down and I'll check the chat too before I share it with you. It is not that kind of live stream, Clara. Oh my days. Angels. I have to remember it now. Sorry, it's a little bit longer than I realized. So, I have like my regular chant that I do when I do my usual smoking and cleansing of the house, but this is what I do when I think it's more of like a close spirit who's trying to either just be a little bit tricky, because when I was talking to a lot of people about it, and a lot of people think that it's more of like a trickster energy that doesn't mean harm but is still causing destructive behavior. So I use this sort of chant to kind of help bring peace back to my home, to strengthen the safety and comfort feeling within the house, but to make sure that I'm not being completely ignorant towards what these warnings could be about. So this is the chant that I use. I made a lot of scratches, so I don't think you're going to be able to read it. I'll read it for you. This is the chant that I use in these weird instances where it's not a malevolent being, but it's also not a welcomed energy, if that makes sense. Spirits, angels, and ancestors, please help me to remove all negative and harmful energy from my home and the people, animals, and objects in it. Please aid me to bring peace and safety back with love. So it's simple, but I say that in literally every room in the house. And I open the windows and I smoke it, each room, every window, every mirror, every doorway, anything that could act as a portal. And I let the smoke go out of the room and then I close the windows. And me seeing the smoke leave the room is like a visualization of me seeing that bad energy get out. So I'm going to put this in the chat just in case it is helpful. Spirits. So the main thing about this chant is you want to call on the right entities from the beginning. So that's why I always start by addressing exactly who I want to help me. Like I don't like to just open it up and be like, help me cleanse the energy in this home, because you don't know who you're calling. So that's why I always start with spirits, angels, and ancestors, because I'm trying to be as specific as possible in terms of the kind of energy that I want in my house versus the energy that I don't want. And when I say spirits, if you were just saying spirit in that situation, it might be too broad. You want to say these things with the intention of, I'm protecting my house, I'm protecting my body, and I'm protecting the objects and tools I use within my home as well from harmful and negative energy from my home. I think I'm going to run out of people. Hi, welcome. Yes, smudging can be so tricky when you have respiratory issues as well. And with these smoke alarms going off, I haven't been able to actually smudge the house. So it's more about intention. Smoke for me is a visualization tool, but intention and just you feeling strongly in what you're doing. So you can use salt as well. And if you were going to use salt, you would have some in your hands, but you would also be leaving little salt crystals on your windows or on your doors. To me, that's excessive though. Like I wouldn't use salt unless I was feeling like it was a malevolent energy. That's a whole nother story as well. I wonder if this will let me post it. It's over 200 characters. Damn. Okay. I just put it in the chat. I'm going to pin it as well, just in case it's helpful. Oh, welcome you guys. Oh, lovely to see you again, Em. Thank you. Yes, I love that as well. Love it. But yeah, that's the main thing, is you just want to be careful about who you're calling upon, especially when you're channeling. I always want to encourage you to tap into your divine being and to be comfortable within your intuitive mind and within your intuitive self, but it would be ignorant to assume that the energy around us is benevolent all the time. We do have very malevolent and malicious energy, and some of it comes from people just wanting to wish harm upon you. Other times it could be an entity that is no longer human. So, and without scaring you, it's just about being safe and being discerning over your space and making sure that you are protecting yourself so that you're only inviting the right energies to work with you when you're channeling, because tarot is very much an intuitive craft. Yes, it's theory and learning the cards, but it's also about having the right messages and channeling your intuition in the right way. And if you are a medium or you have the ability to experience the clairs, you may be drawing upon external energy, and that's where you want to be very careful. So with that being said, I've done the base of my makeup. Let's get some treats, shall we? I really wanted to try this one first. So The treat box that we're opening today is from Poland. They usually come with cute little cards that tell you about the country. It'll tell you what is in the treat box. It's really fun to do with multiple people. I've done it with like a whole bunch of family members before, and that was really fun because we all got to like guess without knowing like what it was and whether it was a sweet or savory item. And then we all got to rate like whether we liked it and how much we liked it. But usually they also add other little additional things. So in this box, they have like a Polish recipe at the back and just heaps of facts on Poland. So I'm pretty excited. I've never had a box from Europe yet, so this is going to be exciting. It says this month's treats come to you from Poland, a country in Europe close to the Baltic Sea and steeped in tradition and culture. I'd love to go to the Baltic Sea. Let us have a look. Poland has a love for chocolates that dates back to the 17th century. Curious. As much as I love chocolates, I really want to try these because they look like pretzels. Do you agree? They kind of look like pretzels. And then I need to ask Tarot what we're doing in terms of the makeup because I'm very unsure. Yes, thank you so much for sharing what you guys do in the chat as well. Everything is helpful and it's always good to know what has worked for other people and what isn't working as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. Putting salt across an entryway. Oh my days, why am I trying to talk? This is lovely. It is exactly what I thought it was. These are pretzels. Oh, simple. I might only have one though. I'm not really hungry, to be honest with you. These will get eaten eventually, but I just wanted to taste them and see what my favorites were. These are easy peasy pretzels. So delicious. Let's have a look at what they call it in their beautiful country. Poleshki? Oh, my bad. It's not that one. Palushki, crispy salt sticks, made from the traditional recipe, traditional baking process, results in these snacks containing a relatively low calorie content. Ooh, okay. That's good to know. Okay, so yeah, I mean, to describe these to you, they're literally just pretzels in the best of ways. You can't go wrong with a solid pretzel. So delicious, so yum. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so I'm going to set my contour by putting a bit more powder on my face. I do want to go for like a fairy look, but we'll see what Tarot can offer us as well. I'm going to contour the hell out of this face though. We're going to be beat. I'm also going to be filming for the rest of today and tomorrow, so if you would like to retrieve specific messages from that reading, I haven't done it yet, set your intention so that we can hopefully channel the right messages for you. But it is going to be a general what do you need to know reading, what do you need to hear right now kind of reading, and we're just going to see where spirit takes us. So if you do have any specific questions, set the intention, write it down. You can even put it in the chat if you want. But just set the intention so that when I am filming later today and tomorrow, hopefully the right message can come through for you, because it is going to be obviously a general reading. So it's hard for me to tune it into anything specific. It's just important that spirit and you are on the same page. If that makes sense. And I just go through spirit. Okay. I was going to set my under eye, but I don't know if I will yet. I don't know if I will. I kind of want to see what Tarot says about this makeup idea. You know what would be a really fun deck to use, actually? Let's go with this Family Heirloom Tarot deck. I think that would be a really fun deck to use when it comes to makeup. Oh, I'm going to lick some lettuce, Diane. Oh, bless. Oh, thank you. It shouldn't be a black screen, sweets. It should not be a black screen. Oh, perfect. You did fix it. I'm just seeing your old messages. Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. How many years have I been reading tarot? To be honest, I have been reading tarot. I started reading tarot like in 2013, sorry, but I wasn't good. I was not good. I did not have like a strong intuition, or at least I didn't connect well to my intuition. I feel like it's always been strong. I wasn't connected to it. So I was a theoretical reader and my messages were very hit and miss because I wasn't channeling. I was literally just like, this card could mean this and it could mean that. And it wasn't, it didn't have the substance. It didn't have the depth that it should have had. So it wasn't until like 2019 when I had a huge spiritual awakening. It was crazy. And I was so restless. And at that point, my intuition was just an open nerve. And because I wasn't going anywhere, like I did in 2019, I did go to Bali and I had a bit of like a spiritual pilgrimage over there. But when we got back and like I was keen to explore it more, COVID struck. So I was at home mostly, and because I wasn't going anywhere, I was able to just kind of do it in a protective space. I was able to really channel and connect and get more connected to my guides and to my ancestors, who are my guides mostly, but just kind of recover the lost art of my culture too, in terms of like connecting to spirituality free from religion. I was able to get more specific and more like in depth, and it felt more like, oh wow, like there's something here. It was a huge difference after then to just reading cards versus like, wow, there's actually messages here. And that's when I shifted from being like a tarot reader to more of like using tarot to channel what I feel and what I see and what I hear as a reader, as more of like a psychic, I guess, for lack of a better word. It sounds really corny saying psychic though, like I don't really like it. But let's see. Spirit, what should I be doing with my face? What is going on with this fairy look? Oh, cute. Looks like we're going to be an earth fairy. I expected no less. I am very strong earth placements. At the back of the deck, we have the 9 of Teacups though. So apparently I'm just supposed to do whatever makes me happy. Love that. Love it. I'm going to definitely get inspiration from these cards though. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Ingots. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Chariot, who is looking very gorgeous in the vessel or that vehicle. We also have the 4 of Wands reversed and the 8 of Chopsticks upright. So there's a lot of passion there with that 8 of Chopsticks. The Wheel of Fortune, what an interesting twist. I feel like the Queen of Ingots is like an earthy energy. Let me just do my eyebrows, but I think I want to put some color in my eyebrows. So I'm going to kind of draw the shape, but then I'm going to put color in them. Once I've done my eyebrows, we'll try another snack. Haha. Okay. Interesting. I feel like this earthy energy is going to make me want to go for a walk, to be honest with you. Love it. Now I need to get some colors in there. Might start with this beautiful palette, which actually came from a wonderful member of this community. I don't know if she's in the chat. She might be at work today. Yeah, the intuition part is very, very, very tricky. I feel like a lot of us had awakenings during COVID. Cheeky cheeks. Trying to be so protective of this house. Oh. Anyway. Where was I at? Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I hear that a lot in terms of my voice. I'm very grateful, but it's weird because like I don't think this is common though. You don't really hear yourself, do you? And then you hear yourself recorded and I sometimes forget it's me. Like I'll listen to one of my videos, or like when I would do the audio readings, which I am going to be bringing back very, very soon. Make sure you're subscribed to the website because this is the month where I'm going to be trying to do more audio readings. So make sure you're subscribed if you want an audio personal reading. But yeah, it wasn't until I started listening to myself, yeah, that I was like, okay, it sounds like a different person to me. It doesn't sound like my voice sometimes. You don't really hear yourself though, I guess. Now, I want to put some color into my brows, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I want this like bright green color because it's on the top. Let's hope. It's very subtle. I don't think you'll be able to see it on the Zillow camera. I'm just trying to pack it in because apparently I'm going to be an earth fairy. So cute. But I will still be reading your comments, so feel free to drop another question in there. I will scroll back. I think somebody did ask a question already. Careful, I don't want to look like Beetlejuice here with these eyebrows. It would be cool if my eyebrows looked like moss though, I think. So I'm thinking like lighter colors at the beginning and then some darker greens towards the end. That might be nice. I realize I'm asking a lot of questions, but what are your plans for Halloween or Samhain? What does that look like on the, you can't even see. I swear it's green. I swear it's green. I'm like trying to lean forward so you can see it. I didn't want it to be super bright though, like if I was going to put like a white color down, I thought that would be too much. That might be a little too much if I do the white first. A lot of pink, yes. Yay. When did you feel that you're ready to read for others? To be honest, I had other people asking me to read. But I also started getting downloads for other people. I also started like getting to a point where I wanted to test myself. So at that stage, I was living with my sister. I don't know if some of you OGs might remember that. And my sister and I were literally like in the same 2-bedroom apartment together. She was in the room next door to me. And I would just beg her to let me read for her. She's my little sister. We have 6 years between us, but we were, yeah, she got sick of it real quick. She asked me for tarot readings every now and then now, but like 9 times out of 10, she'd just be like, okay, fine, like, if you really want to. And then I started to get to a point, like the first time I did it, I think she was like really skeptical and just like this, because I'm someone that has a lot of hobbies. So I think she thought it was just going to be like a hobby, a phase. And then I read for her the first time and I started pulling facts about like this guy that she'd been seeing who's like her long-term partner now. And I started to delve into like the dynamics and I got way too specific. It was very invasive reading for a close family member. And even to this day, I have to warn them. I'm like, listen, if there's anything you don't want me to know, it's probably going to come out. But let's try another treat as well. What is this? Delphina. Elegant and individually wrapped chocolates decorated with white chocolates. Oh my days, say less. Yes, okay. Let's get into this. Oh no, it's melted. The Australian heat has melted it. Oh, I don't know how I'm supposed to. I'm just going to have to scrape it off there with my teeth. Well, I'm sure there was white chocolate in there, but I can't really see it. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's nice. It tastes alcoholic now that it's been heated. Is it alcoholic? Rich chocolate taste. It tastes alcoholic. Oh, the Australian heat has ruined that one, but I could see how that would have been lovely when it was fresh. Oh, I feel like we need to try another one just for a redemption arc. Maybe something not too sweet. This is interesting. Look at that. It looks corny. It looks like corn. Yes, so in terms of like other forms of divination, ooh, mushroom cheeks, that is cute. Oh, that is so cute. I would love to. Yeah, that's all you'll probably be able to see, Snow Tiger, a tiny little bit of a yellow tinge. I might just finish my eyebrows really quickly, actually. Let me just get that done. Chaos. That's complete chaos. All right. I think I'm going to like not keep them completely in line with the shape of my brow too, if that makes sense. Like we're going to deviate a little bit. Have her come out like that. So it looks like a little bit of a leaf moment. And her there. And her there. So it looks like there's little vines coming out of my eyebrows. To be honest with you, I can't wait till I have grown nieces and nephews because I am just going to be so hands-on with any form of dress up. Literally. Speaking of which though, my beautiful niece is in town at the moment. I can't wait to finally meet her. She was only born this year. Very, very young. So in terms of other divination, I love tarot because I can get really specific facts and information, but I used to love divination with shells, where I got the kind of idea from bloody Pirates of the Caribbean, to be honest, like lots of like old styles of like voodoo and how you would use objects. So I had like my first form of divination outside of tarot was my charm box, and I would just put miscellaneous items in there. So lots of like little shells, anything that stood out to me, to be honest. Like I would just keep my eyes open for an object that I felt had potential. Something that hopefully wasn't connected to like a heavy negative energy, but also something that would be small enough to fit in my charm box. So lots of shells, some feathers, bones, but like lots of beads, some coins. It just depended on the coin, because coins pass through a lot of energy. A lot of people touch them, so it just depended on the coin. Usually these were coins that had been abandoned and weathered. They were just like under a bench at the park, or I would find them like on the side of the road, and it looked like they'd been there for a while. It felt like they had been almost cleansed by nature. Rocks, I used to love collecting rocks as well, and I would tie specific kind of messages to certain charms, but I would also, when I would ask my questions, I would put them in the box and I would shake it, and then I would throw them and see which ones landed. And it depended on the formation, it depended on the way that the objects kind of would touch each other and connect to each other, and it would depend on what my intuition was telling me when I saw them land as well. I had some crazy instances where it literally spelt out letters. Like I'd be like, who is this person? And I would throw it and it would be like an L or a J or an S, and I'm just like, oh, okay, very obvious who that is. But it doesn't really allow for in-depth readings, in my opinion. It's just sort of quick answers. Wow, okay, so this is some sort of corn puff. I'm sorry to chew with my mouth open, it's just so big. It gives me the vibe of like packing peanuts. Oh no, you're joking. Another thing that has been ruined by the Australian heat. This is supposed to taste like strawberries. It just tastes like packing peanuts. Damn it. I'm sure it is delicious when it's fresh. Apparently this was really popular amongst influencers. Okay. That's interesting marketing to put on your package. Love it. It's a crowd favorite. I mean, it's so easy to eat, to be honest with you. These two, it's just like, especially this one, it's just puffed with air. I could easily eat that like while watching a movie. It's just bland now that the heat has ruined the flavor. There's no flavor to it at all. And that's not their fault, that's my fault because I left it for a while as well. But that's annoying. And when I say heat, like this room, my filming room, I have to get all my filming done before 1 p.m. because from 1 p.m. until 7 p.m., this room gets up to like 40 degrees Celsius. It's just so hot in here. So it's not their fault, but that's a bit annoying. But yeah, that's the only other real divination that I used to. I'm sorry, I'm going to put little flowers on here now. The only other form of divination that I used to practice. Other than that, I just channel direct messages too. When the vibe is right, I just tune into the situation and I channel direct, like just to see what comes through. That happens a lot with family members. I don't like it though because it feels invasive. But yeah, that seems to be like the main thing, is like I just like to be very sure of where I'm getting information, and tarot helps to kind of guide those messages for me, especially if my energy isn't entirely stable due to like the full moon, or like we've had so many funerals this year. I just wanted to be so sure. So I haven't been doing one-on-one channeling like without anything for a while because I just wanted to make sure that what I'm channeling is accurate and honest and not kind of biased, especially for people who are experiencing similar things to me. But what other forms of divination do you guys do? I'm very curious about mirror scrying. Like that is really intriguing to me. Scrying on mirrors and sort of being able to connect in that way with a sort of a dim light and looking into the abyss to see what's looking back. That's actually a bit scary, but that seems very intriguing though. Redemption song. Oh, I would love to talk about twin flames actually. I had a recent spike in my energy. Let me go back and just see what else I've missed. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are so nice. Are there any other, oh, I've already answered that question. My bad. Are you able to read for yourself? To be honest, I do try, but I have to be really aware of my higher self's presence and I have to just focus on that. I can't let myself slip into ego at all, and that's really difficult lately because I've got a lot of reasons to be ego based at the moment, in terms of like just sort of in survivor mode as well, and it's harder to channel intuitively from that place for myself and be unbiased. So it's a little bit exhausting reading for myself because I have to be so discerning and I have to be so unbiased and I have to be so like almost reading from a higher perspective, looking down at myself, that it just becomes really exhausting and a little like, oh really, calm down. I'm gonna do mushrooms on my cheeks. But I do want to talk about twin flames because I have had a spike in energy lately. And I was wondering, wait, where should I put the other one? I was wondering where my twin was at with his journey. So Let me just quickly say, the twin flame concept is very unique, and this is basically a disclaimer. You should really calm down. Calm down. You should really just focus on whatever message is helpful and healing for you. No two stories are the same. Excuse me, calm down. Big man. I'm trying to act like a big man. So, I do feel like a lot of people awakened in 2020. I think that it was just a time where we were kind of forced to be in more of a passive space, and those who were open, or even people who weren't open, had gone through a crazy kind of turnover of events where a lot is out of your control, and in the moment of trying to be instinctual, you end up sort of unlocking aspects of yourself you didn't know you had. And I do think that that is the case for spirituality as well. And I do think that is why a lot of people had realized, like, oh wow, maybe I am a twin. And for me personally, the twin flame journey has never been about union. It was about union in the early days when I felt so confused and attached and detached from myself, and I was just looking for answers, and I was trying to figure out, well, why do I have these feelings? But when I did awaken, and when I did start to do my own sort of research and connection with self, I realized that the only way I was ever going to find the peace that I was seeking wasn't from seeking union with them. It was going to come from me being comfortable within myself and feeling like I could be happy for myself. Because my twin came into my life personally at a time where I was really open to upgrades and changes, and I'd gotten out of a really crazy relationship, and I just was seeking myself, and I met him instead, and I was like, damn, like, I don't think I'm ready for this. This is intense. And Spirit was like, okay. And then we went into separation. I was like, oh wow, okay, this is a lot crazier actually. So I do think that when it comes to the twin flame connection, a lot of hurt and pain comes from the misinformation of pretending like we have all the answers for those around us. I think a big part of the journey is about just focusing on what feels best for you, on what brings you joy, you happiness. And for me personally, I've never felt more like myself than after I met my twin and was able to really come into myself because of what seeing and learning through him gave me. But it wasn't like a hold my hand, I'll hold yours situation. It was very much a connecting intuitively and hoping that it all pays off kind of situation. And to this day, I do feel like my twin is, their higher self is a part of my, what's it called? Like, I can't think of the word now, is like a part of my spiritual team. But I don't think that for us, union was ever supposed to be the focus. I think that we're both supposed to have very impactful journeys where we create a lot of change and are very strong voices of support to our respective communities. And if that eventually leads into our paths crossing, that would be amazing. But I'm just enjoying the fact that this is the most Lorraine I've felt my whole life. And it's a constant struggle of trying to be open and surrendering versus literally not like running away as well, like, if that makes sense. Because at different times of the journey, you're needing to be more of the sort of initiator. Well, at least for me, because I have a lot of masculine energy. Doesn't that look cute? Because I have a lot of masculine energy. So at times I'm more of the initiator, And then at other times it's like, no, just surrender. Just just literally be passive and give them space to step forward. So I think the twin journey helped me recognize my own personality better, and it helped me see myself as the kind of, without feeling ashamed for being more masculine, if that makes sense as well, because I kind of grew up in a culture where the roles are so clearly defined. The women play a role, the men play a role, and there's no in between, you know? So like for me, my upbringing and everything kind of forced me to be a lot more masculine, and I would always feel shame for that. Whereas this twin flame journey has helped me realize through my own spiritual practice as well that is natural, and there's no need to feel ashamed for having certain attributes. In fact, a well-balanced person should be able to be somewhat androgynous and tap into both aspects of their personality at times. And also, your personality is so diverse and in depth. Like, you can't just be pigeonholed or boxed into specific gender roles at all times. You're going to cross over, and you're going to need to kind of have a well-balanced and kind of diverse personality, at least with certain challenges. Like I could not have survived a lot of my childhood if I was only feminine and my only role was to be feminine. Like, I had to be a masculine person who protected, otherwise I wouldn't have made it through. So a lot of the journey has been deflected back to me, and that's what I'm mostly grateful for. But I didn't know if you had like a specific question about twin flames, or if you just wanted like a general yarn about it. That's generally what's coming onto my mind. But if you have specific questions, let me know. So this is a chocolatey treat. It's called Break by Goplana. It says this is a smooth, rich milk chocolate with a creamy flavor. For a burst of flavor, you can chew on it or have the chocolate and cream melt in your mouth. That sounds delicious. It looks like the Australian heat has already melted it a little bit. So let me, I'm nervous. Oh my God. Holy. Oh my God. If you like Ferrero Rochers, you will love this. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel so bad. I'm going to get demonetized soon. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. 10 out of 10. Holy. I'm tearing. That is amazing. All these mushrooms are so cute. I kind of need to outline them though. I'm going to outline them a little bit. We'll add some grass. Just a little bit of grace. And then I'm going to outline them a little bit. I do have another one of these, but I haven't used it in ages. It's a bit dirty. It's a bit ranky-danky. I'm just looking at the playback on the chat. Oh, thank you so much. I love these earrings too. Oh, yes. If you're getting hungry, please get snacks. Join me. Let's eat at a distance, but together. Yeah, and that's the thing, Arizona. If union is your goal, don't feel guilty about it. Just because I'm not focusing on it doesn't mean everybody else has to not do it either. It's very much about you and what brings you happiness and joy, and you shouldn't feel guilty for wanting connection with your twin as well. It's a difficult situation, a thing to talk about, because it is so subjective, and I never want to invalidate another person's experiences or feelings or any part of their journey. You are entitled to feel however you want to feel. That is your right as a sovereign being. So if union is what is a part of your journey and you feel it and you know it, don't feel discouraged by the fact that I'm not focusing on it. That's just what I know for my own personality is what is healthier. And I think that for me, it's more about really honoring a strong friendship with my twin at the moment. These mushrooms are so cute. I cannot. I'm just going to go around and give them a slight little. It's not really working. I'm smiling too much. Oh my god, calm down. As soon as I see myself, I just laugh. Okay, let me just wipe this tear. Oh, hello, Juliana. Welcome. Our twin flames. Oh, dang. I'm supposed to be reading so many questions. Wait, let me go back. Yes, Starborn Tarot. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, they are very activating. Yes. Oh, you're amazing, KK. Love it. You know what? And when you're a very intuitive person, Snow Tiger, sometimes people do just be popping up in your brain. And it could be a case of them trying to connect with you. You're picking up on someone's intention to want to get to know you better. But the annoying part about being intuitive is you're literally picking up on so much energy. You have to kind of discern the intention behind the energy and whether that individual intends on acting upon their energetic desires, if that makes sense. That's as much as I think I can do for the mushies. And then we're just going to add little dots. Wait, they're white, aren't they? The dots on mushrooms are white. I'm getting nervous. It's looking so good, but what if I stuff it up now? Oh my gosh, let me answer another question. I thought I had a twin flame, but betrayal happened. Apparently that's called a false twin if one lies, cheats, manipulates. Is that true? To be honest, like, I have done a lot of research, so I feel comfortable like answering this question, but at the same time, I need to kind of come back to the fact that no one on this earth is a true expert in twin flames, if that makes sense. There are very well-informed individuals who have very healing intentions and a lot of reliable sources that you can kind of gather information from, but 100% use your own discernment. So even with what I'm saying to you now, if it doesn't feel helpful, you don't have to claim it. The difference between a twin flame and a karmic is that your twin isn't going to intentionally hurt you. Their actions may inadvertently cause you distress and harm, but they are never going to physically abuse you. They're never going to be this sort of loud, aggressive, kind of forceful person. In fact, if anything, when they feel the desire to be that way, that is when they will run away, because there is a bond of unconditional love and attachment that will be there from the beginning, even when you're both struggling to awaken and connect with your true selves. You should never feel unsafe around them, even if other people are seeing them sort of blow up and act aggressively. It won't feel like you are ever in any danger. You may know that your twin has an anger problem. You may know that your twin is aggressive at times, but you won't see that being exhibited towards yourself, and you won't recognize that as I'm not feeling safe around you. A karmic is going to make you feel very unsafe at times. A karmic is going to make you feel like you need to be with them because you're almost trying to kind of calm each other down in a way of it's dangerous to be apart type of feeling. They will manipulate you to feel like you need to be there, because if you're not there, they're going to not be okay. Whereas a twin will kind of push you away and go like, I'm going through something right now. You don't need to be a part of it. You don't need to see me like this. I don't want you to see me like this. A twin will feel very guilty for bringing heaviness and toxicity into the connection. A twin may still lie or bring like a third party in, but they're going to try to distance themselves from you before that happens. Because as a twin, you do feel a weird, unexplainable bond and need to kind of protect and care for the other person, which comes from you ultimately recognizing yourself in their energy and this inner urge to nurture yourself and protect yourself and connect with yourself. So often people enter karmic relationships and they have this strong pull and push, and it's very volatile, and there may be forced separations because of the volatility, but it's immediately labeled as a twin flame connection. And it's very hard, unless we're delving into specific references or examples, to differentiate the two. It comes down to safety and comfort and feeling safe being away. And you may still heavily obsess and miss your twin when you're at a distance to them, but it's not this strong feeling of like, I need to be around them. At least once you get into a good point of surrender, it's not like this anxiousness of like, they're going to hurt themselves if I'm not there type of feeling. Although I have had strong premonitions of my twin being in an unsafe place. That has happened before, and I had to kind of like go through somebody else because I didn't want to overstep and just sort of hit them up out of the blue. I checked through somebody else, like, are they okay? Are they safe? What's going on? And I was able to find out that he was fine, but yeah, it shouldn't feel like you need to be there. Otherwise, none of you are going to be able to survive. A lot of karmic relationships end up fizzling out because you can't grow anymore with that person. The two of you hit roadblocks, and the more you're with each other, the more stagnant you become. And when you're apart from each other, you may do really, really well, but as soon as you get back together, it's like you hit another roadblock. Whereas a twin flame connection, when you're separated, you thrive. When you're together, you're learning. When you're separated again, you keep thriving. It's like, even if there is a heavy sort of energy there in terms of like maybe even sexual frustration or frustration at the fact that you can't come into union, you're still evolving, growing constantly and leveling up constantly, especially in separation, to the point where it's hard to always stay obsessively attached to your twin. You're constantly having to juggle what the universe is throwing at you with your other evolutions. Now, I do want to try this treat next. What is it though? I am very confused. What am I looking at here? Oh, I see. It's a Krauka Milk Cream Fudge by Solidarnosc. Solidarnosc? Am I saying that right? I really don't know what the Polish accent is supposed to sound like. So Krauka cow candy in Poland are milky, creamy fudge candies. You'll notice these Polish fudge candies are different from American fudge. They are soft and crumbly in texture, and they will melt in your mouth. Yes, because I was kind of nervous when I saw fudge. I was thinking, how am I supposed to talk if I've got fudge in my mouth? So let me read some more of your comments in the chat. And please get your snacks. I can see y'all saying now you want snacks. So make sure you get your snacks. I'm sorry to Diane's doctor for telling her to eat snacks and you told her not to. I'm just here telling you to eat snacks, Diane, and you're not supposed to. But I'm going to go ahead and chew on this and let you know what it tastes like while I read some more of your comments. That's delicious. But I just saw a comment that I really want to answer straight away. By Jay, our twin flames meant to separate after union to help growth. It's not that there are rules, like you're not supposed to do this or that or anything really, but a telltale sign of a twin flame connection is separation after meeting. Usually things start to build and it looks really promising, and you're both kind of recognizing kindred traits within each other's personalities, and then there is a forced separation, usually by an external issue, but ultimately it's your energy needing to evolve more and get to more of a space of harmony in order for union to be successful. Usually separation is forced when we are too fixated on them and not aware of how we ourselves are creating blockages, limits, or challenges in the connection, how we may be projecting our own insecurities or lack of self-worth into the connection, and they mirror that back at us. Their own insecurities are mirrored back to us, which is forcing mutual separation. So even though we may see them as running away from us, technically they are experiencing all the challenges, insecurities, and self-worth issues that we are, which is forcing them to run away as well. So separation initially is really heavily focused on self-worth and recognizing how you have attracted each other into your respective lives in this lifetime through your individual missions and purposes. And a lot of that for me was about figuring out how to manage my gifts a little bit better and trying to figure out the kind of difference I wanted to make in this world. And I met my twin when I was working in a homelessness program, and that I was really passionate about, but I recognized quite soon after I met him that I wasn't going to have the impact that I wanted in that situation. I needed more experience, I needed more funding. And so my goal is to go back to that field, but I want to rewrite the whole thing. I want to open my own program one day and not have to abide by stakeholders and corporate standards, because everything is privatized to some degree. So it's very frustrating, but I wouldn't have realized that had I not thought bigger. I just assumed I would always be in a worker role. I never thought I would be self-employed. So my mission and my purpose for me is so much more exciting and passionate than what I thought it was. And I know for him, like, he's also in a space where he's very independent and self-managed, and we both are meant to have our own little missions, which is exciting. But the separation for me was able to help me focus on myself, and I hadn't spent a lot of time with myself most of my life. I'd had people around me my whole life. I'd never really been alone. So separation from him was also separation from my family. It coincided with spending a lot of time by myself with just me and Kirk in a house. And that was a lot of growth that I needed for myself at that time, to be able to reprioritize and redefine my own values, my own responsibilities, and my own desires and goals and passions. So I really know in hindsight that I needed that time. Otherwise, I would have been so fixated and focused on him, and I would have just disappeared into the relationship like I had previously. So it was really important for me. It's not necessary for everyone. Some people can just have a quick couple of weeks away and then they come into union. But for me, I know I needed the past 3 years of separation. Absolutely. I shouldn't have put the whole thing in my mouth. Oh my God, it's so sweet. Whew. Yes, Starborn. Oh my God, I remember that like it was yesterday. Oh, thank God, Jude. Let her food get here already, please. Oh, I can't wait to eat with you. To be honest, there's so many ways to send love to somebody that's not with you physically. I have a lot of close family members that live at a distance to me, and a lot of it can just be done through, well, it depends on how religious you are. Like, I was always taught to pray as a child, and as I kind of remolded my version of spirituality, I turned prayer into like meditation and meditative practices where I just send love through the energy. So you can do it as like a silent sort of prayer in your mind with like a letter of saying, dear so and so, I care about you so much. I have so much love for you. I hope you are safe. I am sending you my love, my support. It can be an internal thing. Or for me, if I can't get my mind to focus, because I have a very scattered mind when I'm not channeling, I like to write things down. And that's what I do in my journals. I write letters to people, to loved ones, and seeing yourself write it down helps to visualize it, especially if you don't have that person's phone number anymore, or if you don't really trust in them checking their Facebook messages. For some of my cousins, I just write it down in my journal. I'm like, dear so and so, please be safe. I'm thinking of you a lot. I had a dream of you. I'm wanting you to do whatever is going to make you happy, but know that I am sending you my love, and whatever else you want to say to that person. Essentially, there are so many ways to connect, and I think that dreaming of someone is a kind of reminder of the fact that either that person may be important to you, or there could be something going on their end that you are needing to be aware of too. So kind of connecting with them either mentally by saying this sort of prayer or by writing it down can be a good way to send love and to receive love from them as well, because you are opening up a channel that they may have already started. It's just important that you close that channel if you don't want it to stay empty. So cord cutting can be good for that, but I personally just say like, nah, I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, this is where I close it. Look after yourself, but you're on your own. It just depends on the circumstances, but sometimes I've accidentally forgotten to take my energy back, and it's like, wait a minute, I take my energy, I take my power back. The person has no control over me anymore, because you do open a channel when you do these things. Okay. What did you say though? Cassandra, it was so good. It was so good. Oh, thank you. Move, bitch, get out the way. I'm a delivery driver and I sing that song when people are going too slow. Oh my god, I was wondering why that song came up. I used to love that song. When I met my twins, I had extreme vision. I think that's easy to tell. Does not everyone have the visions from it? It just depends on your individual like capabilities, I guess. Not everyone will experience I would say clairvoyance like that. So it just depends. I used to dream about them a lot. I would also dream about like our past lives together. I would really like, it opened up a huge channel for me where I was like, wow, I can do this. I had no idea I could do this. But it just depends on who you are and what your abilities are, because not everybody is going to be able to see those things. Other people, for example, they smell they smell their twins everywhere. They smell their twins perfume, or they smell their twins deodorant, their twins cologne, their twins like actual like body odor smell, like just the smell of their skin or their hair. Not in like a bad body odor way, please, but like it's just different for everyone. Other people like physically see doppelgangers of their twin, and they're reminded of their twin in that way. Like they start to see people that look like them because that's just their medium, their form. So yes, big yes, Amber. Oh, yeah, that definitely answered your question then. Let me check real quick, Phil, because I don't know a lot about dharmic relationships, but I know that um, the twin flame connection did start as an Eastern, well, technically for me it's a Northern, but it started as like an Eastern um, theory that became again more kind of, I want to say it even got more popular, and so a lot of us had all of a sudden started knowing about them. Let me just check really quickly what a dharmic relationship is. Obviously the opposite of a karmic, eternal nature of reality regarded as a cosmic law, underlying right behavior. If anybody else is curious, I'm going to drop this in the chat. Hopefully it'll let me, surely. There we go. Type of relationship is more rare because it requires, yeah, there is definitely a lot of spiritual maturity involved in being a twin, because you have to be able to be emotionally aware enough to disconnect at times and not hyperfixate, even though that is the human behavioral standard, if that makes sense. It's hard to just let go and go, they're going to be fine. Like, I don't need to micromanage them. I don't need to be with them all the time. It sounds very similar, but for the sake of this theory, I don't want to say they're the same, but they sound very similar based on what I'm reading, and I'm just skimming through it very quickly. Because the idea of a twin flame connection is it's unconditionally loving that person and supporting them regardless of their choices, regardless of their actions, regardless of the evolution of their behavior, and regardless of whatever they choose to attach themselves to. You have to just kind of hold space for them lovingly, and you have to give yourself the space to lovingly explore and maintain your own passions and I want to say pursuits, because I don't even know sometimes what I'm passionate about. I just start to develop interests, and next thing I know, like, I'm determined to do this and that, and it kind of takes off from there. So it is very freeing, but it's very, like, what's the word? I feel like, for me at least, I'm having to be very disciplined in order to maintain that fine balance, that fine temperance. Yes, there are false twin flames too, 100%. And these are more of the karmic sort of relationships that are just as passionate and sometimes even more passionate, but much more limiting, and they don't incite growth. They exacerbate stagnancy, and they really trigger us in helpful ways to examine our shadows and to understand our behavior and to understand our resilience as well. Karmic relationships are necessary, but they're very painful at times and volatile and unsafe. So if anybody is making you feel like that, you should be very focused on just getting yourself into a space where you feel safe and where you can feel like, yeah, I just want to say safe. I just want to say safe. Just getting yourself to safety. I feel like I'm missing so much. My phone keeps interrupting us. Yay, your food has arrived. Why am I just seeing that now? You're probably like halfway through your meal. I'm going to change it just a little bit, and then we'll go back to twins. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think it's just about what you're focused on, though. Sorry, I said I was just going to get away from twins and then I got back to it. But I think it's just about what you're focused on. If you're focused on union, like, and that's your goal, then by all means, like, you could probably get union quicker. But for me, I came to the understanding that I would not be able to get union and build the Hermit Tarot empire simultaneously. I realized that working on the Hermit Tarot has been very much about working on me. And even though it's like a pseudonym, it's not at all my name. It's always been about creating a community, and I wanted to kind of focus more on using the Hermit Tarot as my gateway to exploring spirituality deeper and just helping myself as much as I endeavor to help others. So I wouldn't have been able to do that had I just been focused on union for the past 3 years. I would have struggled to kind of maintain that desire, but also that level of involvement, because I've really just dived into this sort of head first and fully submerged myself. And at times it can be very energetically demanding. And so much has happened within my own life as well with my family members. So it's not that you, and that's one thing that I used to get so frustrated with too. Like, I know that you would hear that a lot as a viewer. You would hear readers telling you things like, the reason why you're not in union is because you don't love yourself enough. And I don't think that that is ever something that needs to be force fed down our throats, because it's going to be a constant practice, isn't it? Like, we're going to have good days and we're going to have hard days. And those hard days, we don't need to be told, like, you don't love yourself enough. Obviously, we know that. That's why we're here. I don't think that you have to be a full-fledged, perfect human being in order to come into union. I just think that you both individually need to be consenting, wanting, and determined to be in union in order for union to happen. And I recognize that I was personally not wanting or ready for it sooner. So I was individually making it hard to happen, and they were being encouraged to pursue whatever was going to make them happy, while I was doing the exact same thing. So I think that union ultimately comes down to you both individually within your free will deciding what you want from this connection and what you expect from the other. And if that person's free will decides, you know what, actually, like, this is what I'm going to do, you have to unconditionally accept that and still hold love for them despite what they choose to do. And I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, because I personally feel like I've barely scratched the surface of my own kind of growth, and I know that I'm just personally going to get better and better. And whenever we do reconnect, and if we do come into union, it's going to be with the best versions of ourselves. Not perfect, but definitely a lot better than who I was when we first met. And it's not like either of us are technically missing out on anything. Like, we have the ability to be as involved in each other's lives as we want to, but we just choose to kind of keep our stories and narratives separate. So that's what's personally happened, and that's why I keep using my own examples, because I can't tell you how to live your life, and I shouldn't tell you how to live your life, and there's no real rules in this. It's very much about trying to make sure that you're not limiting your own happiness and joy due to your focus and attachment to someone else, regardless of their regardless of what their label is towards you, whether they're a soulmate, a twin flame, a karmic, a lesson. You know, like, you should always be focused on your own happiness, your own joy, and your own experiences to a certain extent. Sometimes that's not always possible, is it, when you have responsibilities? But to a certain extent, it should be what we feel we can do. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting very diplomatic with my answers now. But I saw a random question in here. What do you think of Hollywood and visiting LA? To be honest with you, I don't know how people live in LA, and it was just the places that I was going to as a tourist, I guess. I didn't see the glitz and the glamour. I love where I live. I can't imagine really living anywhere else, but I loved exploring that sort of culture, because it is so different to Australian culture, and there is so many diverse, like, it is a whole mood. LA is a whole mood and a whole vibe. And I got to go down to Venice Beach, I got to go up the coast to Malibu, I got to go to Vegas, I got to see Hollywood, and it was nice, like, ticking those boxes. But I can't imagine, like, growing up in a place like LA, whether you live like in the valley, or whether you lived further south than where we were. Like a lot of people scared us out of going further south than where we were. So we just kind of stuck to where we were. We didn't go that far down. But I don't know how like just the sheer size of it as well. Like I don't know, like to put it into perspective, the place, like Australia is pretty small. We're not a big city, but it was just, yeah, it was wild. Like all the different cultures, I loved it so much, but I just was shocked at like little things like the homelessness, and we have homelessness in our society as well. Like I think a lot of countries have it, but it just made my heart like melt. I was just like, what the hell? And the fact that like nobody, just that weird juxtaposition of seeing like a $200,000 car and someone who's like living off like $20 a week, if that. Like it was just like, how the hell is this place even real? It was really shocking, and a huge kind of like wow moment of just like, I'm so bloody grateful that I'm here as a tourist and that I get to like experience this because I chose to. But I could see, yeah, it was just weird. I did enjoy it as a tourist. I loved that I could just kind of go and then leave, but my heart was just like melting for the people that couldn't do that, and that had just kind of ended up there and found it hard to leave there as well. Like it's just, yeah, it made me a lot more passionate about homelessness, to be honest with you. But I did enjoy my time there, and I loved what I was able to do. We went to Universal Studios, for example, and I got to try some weed from a weed dispensary. We don't have those in Australia, so that was really fun. And just sort of doing that, the sort of whole tourist thing of walking on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, that was really fun. Trying food in America that we don't have in Australia, that was really fun. Just getting to do it with my loved ones, the whole experience was surreal. I just kept pinching myself. I never ever thought that we would be in the States together, and Las Vegas was amazing. I was very grateful to just be there. I love the UFC, for example, so it was very surreal being there, but we were also in Vegas when they had the NFL draft on. So I got to hear Ice Cube playing live, and I grew up listening to Ice Cube. So that was amazing. Saw a few celebrities, a lot of different sort of sports people who I didn't recognize, but they seemed to be big deals. I think we were there at the same time as some of the Kardashians as well because of the NFL draft. But yeah, it was so surreal is all I can say. Like I was just shocked and grateful, and it was amazing. But I was shocked at, yeah, just the homelessness and how it was like, yeah, it was just weird seeing it like that. Like in Australia, our homeless, at least in Cairns, like they feel really ashamed and they hide, and you spend a lot of time as a worker trying to help them feel confident in the community again, and getting that trust back of like, I'm a valued member of this community. I deserve to go to the shopping center. I deserve to go to the bank, because often they're treated like third-class citizens. They're called police. People call police on them all the time. People yell abuse at them, and they just don't even feel welcome to do the basic things as a member of society, like pay their bills at the bank or the post office, or get food from Woolies or Woolworths or the local grocery store. So it was weird to see like literally a whole family living in a tent 500 meters from the Walk of Fame. It was just like, what? Like what? On a busy street where you've got Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, like Rolls Royces. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, how is this even real? I felt like I was in GTA. I just didn't realize that it was that similar. And then I just wanted to leave the whole glamour of it all, and I just wanted to go into the like suburbs and into the specific little cities within LA, if that makes sense. Like I was so tempted to just go south and ask questions, but I was like, no, Lorraine, like you're a tourist, don't do this to yourself. It's not safe. But yeah, it was just a weird experience, very strange. And I just felt like I was in a movie the whole time. It was hard to feel like I was connected to what I was doing, if that makes sense. It just felt so surreal, the whole thing, and so weird. Because, yeah, it was just a weird space. But I had a lot of fun and I felt safe and everyone was really nice. And at one point, someone even thought I was a local until I started talking. And then they were like, oh, what are you from America? They said, what are you from the UK? And I was like, no, I'm Australian. They thought my accent was fake. So that was crazy. But anyway, let me check what's going on in the chat. Yeah, that's tricky. Dreamer does his love. Yes. It felt like I was in Grand Theft Auto. It literally felt like I was in Grand Theft Auto. Um, no, because that's the thing. Like, I do have the tendency to dissociate, but it was weird because we were doing really loud, exciting things. Like, and I drove over there, which was like, damn, they should have put out a warning to all California residents. Australian Lorraine is on the roads. Please look out for vehicle license plate number, because we drive on the left side of the roads. And the first day that we picked up the car, I literally drove to Vegas. And it was a huge traffic jam because of the NFL draft. So I was on the road for 6 hours. And I had done my research. Don't get me wrong, I'm responsible. I did my research. I was like, okay, so I need to do this and at a stop intersection, because y'all have so many intersections. You don't have any roundabouts. And in Australia, we have roundabouts everywhere. So I came up to my first four-way intersection fully versed in the laws, but it was still so intimidating just having to trust that the first car that was there was going to go first and that the next car was going to give way to me. Like, that is a lot of faith in the drivers, random drivers on the road. People in Australia would never, we would never give way like that. We need roundabouts, because then we only have to look in one direction and we just go. And if we cut you off or you cut us off, that's your fault. It's so much more difficult driving in that way. I just wasn't ready for that. But I love how everyone is so respectful on the roads. At least where I drove, maybe I'm overgeneralizing here, but at least where I drove, people were really respectful. I was pleasantly surprised, no accidents, very calm people. I didn't drive at like crazy peak hour traffic though. I purposely avoided that because I didn't want to put my siblings' lives in danger. But yeah, Australian drivers, like, our road rage is crazy. I did not expect people to just give way to me just because that's the law. Like, that's not what happens here. Yeah. I think that's what's interesting though, is like, it was, yeah, it was like crazy to see that many permanent setups of homelessness. Like, our homeless population, and this, I'm in a smaller city too, but like a lot of people in Australia come to Cairns and they get shocked at how much homelessness we have for such a small place. But like, we have a lot of programs, and even then there's not enough, but like there's still a huge number of flaws in the system. But what we do have is in place to ensure that there is some form of crisis support, to the point where you won't have to set up a whole temporary shack. And if that does happen, it usually generates a lot of public interest, so it's hard for that to stay permanent, if that makes sense. Like, I was shocked to see that some people had been very well established within their temporary, like, tent-based homes, and were receiving like food support, but not so much case management support. And I think that's just my ignorance towards what LA has to offer in terms of case management, and maybe in terms of support into long-term housing, because that's the area that like I'm really passionate about, is supporting through case management into long-term housing with recovery work and building skills around getting individuals to a point where they feel capable enough of supporting long-term housing. And just, yeah, anyway, so that's what I was shocked at. I was like, how is this whole family living and in a well-established way on the streets in a tent? Yeah, it just kind of shocked me. But again, that could have just been my tourist sort of ignorance of not knowing what services were there as well and what could be done as well. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes, that's so funny. Old England, like the UK. That is too good. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think like you can overdo roundabouts as well. Roundabouts aren't the solution to everything, but I've just grown up around them, so I'm like used to them. It was weird to be in a place where there's no roundabouts. But they're not always the solution. They are a lot of the problem sometimes. And they still require giving way and trust. So if you don't have that, you are still going to struggle. Okay, what are we looking like? I don't really like this. I don't really like it at all. Let me switch this up a little bit. Let's have some more snacks and let me read some more of your comments. Hi B, welcome. Oh, from beautiful Hawaii. Oh, okay, so this is called Kotruski or Sutruski? Oh, Kukierki. I don't know, I'm probably saying it very, very wrong. Uniquely colored and intricately designed citrus caramel candies. These candies come in a variety of designs. Oh my god, it's caramel? So have a look again, because I didn't really show you properly. Have a look at these ones. Very pretty, very interesting. There's a cherry in there. I think the cherry's lucky. I'm going to go for the cherry. Oh wait, there's something else as well. I feel like the cherry is lucky. I'm going to go for the cherry. Oh yeah, that's... I could see that happening. People just stopping and not knowing. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a really good Halloween candy. I think kids would love this because you kind of have to suck on it, but I don't know what to liken it to. It's a hard candy. I can't taste caramel in the one that I'm chewing on, but it's definitely like a hard candy. It's nice. It's really nice. It's just not my usual go-to, but it's like a typical hard candy. Really, really nice. I feel like it would be good like when you're just trying to kind of like suck on something slowly, you know, without sounding weird, like just to slowly kind of work through that sweet flavor. It's nice. It's just not what I was expecting. But I do like it, and I'm definitely going to give this to anyone who happens to have the audacity to knock on my door for Halloween. That's what they're going to get. So let's try this one next. But also I need some inspiration for my eyes, you guys. What should I be doing on my eyes next to really bring it into its kind of earth fairy energy? I feel like I should do more leaves or flowers here. I think I should do more leaves and flowers. That's not really the color. What am I saying? Orange eyeshadow. Orange. Maybe. Orange would be nice. It feels random, but I think it would work really well. I do want to put leaves in there too, though. Let me see, let me see. Okay. I don't know. Okay. All right. This is not what I imagined. I'm going to be lining some of this stuff as well. That's why. It's just... Okay. Let's bring this color back, I guess. Was it there? That one. I might have just wrecked it. I might have like fully just ruined the whole thing. Yeah. Let me do the other side too. I was trying to do like a 4-petaled flower. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. She might be ruining it now. All right, let me try to salvage this. Whoops. Yellow would be nice. It's like a light green. So it looks yellow, but it's still kind of green. Ooh, that's a good question, B. Oh, see you, Plumber's Dama. You've probably already gone. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish they did. I should have checked. They don't really show the pronunciation. It's just kind of like the word, because I feel like I'm really butchering this beautiful language. I really do feel like I have not been giving the language justice. And I'm so bad, I don't even know what the Polish accent is. Okay, I'm gonna get some liner out. Pray for me. It's gonna be a little bit scary and hairy here. When it comes to manifestation, I am a huge advocate. I think people need to be more aware of how easy it is and how simple it can be as well. I think that we make these things too complicated, when in actual fact, we are, most of us, manifesting all the time. And manifestation can be as simple as just setting a solid intention, putting the right efforts and actions towards, oh my God, I'm shaking so much, towards that intention. And then, oh, this is terrible. It's all going south, but surrendering and believing that the outcome is already yours as well. As long as you've done everything you can, trusting that the universe is going to come through with the rest.
It's such an easy process, but a lot of people fail to trust. And then their energy becomes misaligned with the outcome because they start to self-sabotage, or their actions are a reflection of them not believing that their manifestation is possible. So instead of working hard towards just kind of helpfully distracting yourself from what is out of your control, they start to kind of backpedal and undo all the amazing work that has been done. I really believe, like, honestly, as long as you can think it, like, you can dream it, you can have it. If you are really actively trying and believing that the universe will deliver with whatever you can't personally do, then you can have it. And I only believe these things because the life I'm leading now is very different to the life I was born into. I should not be at all experiencing the things that I'm experiencing based on the life that I was born into. I'm a very fortunate person, so I would not have believed in manifestation had I not tried it for myself and seen it work for myself. I only really advocate things that I know can work, or that can happen. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is not a flower. Is it a flower? Ay, 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 ay. I like to use visualization tools too for manifesting to help me stay confident and connected to the outcome. So, like, if I'm manifesting a new car, like, I'll keep an image. Sorry about that. I'll keep an image of the car that I want, and I'll remind myself, like, of what I'm working towards by having that as powerful visualization tools. But I imagine myself living it as well. Like, I don't just look at it as an object. I see it as a part of my life, as a part of my lifestyle, as a part of my routine. I imagine what I'm going to be doing once I'm in that point in my life. If it's about manifesting love, like, I imagine how it's going to make me feel. I imagine the way that the things that we'll do together, what we'll experience together. Because I firmly believe I have manifested all of my love interests because I manifested them from a personality standpoint, how I expected the two, or how I imagined us to be together and individually as well. Oh my god, she is looking like a whole mess of earthy earthy creation back into my eyelids. And I'm just going to try to blend it all together with a bit of a shimmer, a green shimmer. There we go. Oh my lord. I'll take a photo afterwards and post it on my community wall so you can see the exact craziness that tarot's just do it for fun has led to. Oh wow. I'm not mad at it, but, like, probably wouldn't feel bold enough to go out in public like this. Where is my... Okay, if that's the vibe, that's the vibe. Oh my gosh, can you actually see what's going on? Let me have a look at your comments again. Vision boards, yes. Jude, I really appreciate you for being so lovely and so kind. But sweets, no. This one needs a lot of work, and it's very obviously a flower. But it's I'm not mad at it. I'm just trying to have fun with it. It's a lot. I need to take a photo of my actual face afterwards, and I'll post it up on my my community part of this channel, and you'll see what I mean, sweet souls. Yes, B, that happens sometimes. Sometimes when we're feeling good, we just start manifesting things. My Venus sign, oh my days, girl. This is gonna start to make a lot of sense. Are you ready? My Venus sign is Aquarius. I think I will put purple in there, actually. Let's put purple in there. Purple, purple, little circle. Let's put a let's put you there. Hi. It was just like a brown, but I think I need, I put my wings all the way up to my eyebrows because I was feeling bold. Like, who is she today? Who is she? Oh, Lord in heaven, save me from myself. Oh my God. You know what? This is like my 8-year-old self's dream. So I should not be mad at her. She's living my 8-year-old's dream. Okay, we're talking in third person now. Okay, think about the gaps. I've got a lot of room on my forehead. My family was blessed with forehead size, so let's put something there maybe. Let's make some of these vines go right up. Let's make some of these vines. Okay, it's a bit of a twisty-wisty. Okay. It would be amazing if it could kind of like move into my hair. That would be nice. Am I an earth fairy or am I someone who was swallowed by the woods? Because this is getting crazy up there. Oh, thank you for joining. You have just come in at the time where it's all falling apart, but thank you for being here. Let's try our next snack. We're going to have a look at Emki Sesame Snack to Go. This is going to be delicious. I think a lot of people have some sesame snacks. We have a lot in Australia. I used to eat a lot of these as a kid. So what are we looking at here? Aha! Are individually packaged sesame snaps. Very popular in Poland. Sesame snaps are crunchy bars that are made up of a mixture of sesame and caramel, rolled into the form of a thin wafer. Oh, bless. Thank you for being so kind. I don't mind the judgment though, to be honest. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I genuinely, I can know that I will judge myself more than anyone could ever judge me. Like, plus I'm not a malicious person, so I know that anything that I do is just for either the sake of having fun or with good intentions of trying to wish good upon the world. Let me chew on this. Because there's 3 there, but they're all melted together. It's in my teeth, but it's delicious. It's exactly what I expected in the best of ways. Really, really nice. That is one of my favorites. So I think that at this stage, my favorite one is the one that tasted like Ferrero Rocher. I'm not much of a sweet tooth, but this is my favorite so far. There are a few more in here, but I also like these corn ones. I just wish that the heat didn't get rid of the flavor. That's annoying. Let me just finish my forehead situation and answer some more questions. Erica, other Venus Aquariuses, I'm curious, do you sometimes just go crazy with your appearance like me today? Do you sometimes just have moments where you're like, you know what? I just want to be a wolf. A wolf? Oh my days, an elf. My Venus sign, yeah, I don't know. I get very drawn to Aquariuses or people who like to kind of give themselves space. Like I am definitely more of like a free spirit. But I'm very sentimental, and I think that's because of my moon sign in Taurus. I value family deeply, and I'll do the most for the people that I love, but I prefer being around people who are self-sufficient and somewhat autonomous or independent. I highly respect and value individuality, and I have really radical accepting beliefs of love. Like I don't necessarily, this is just in terms of like my Venus in Aquarius attributes. I don't believe that love has to fit a conventional mold, and I'm a little bit skeptical, in fact, over certain nuclear forms of love that are very much based on structure. Like when I've seen it work, I'm almost like, wow, like it's like seeing an alien. And my own upbringing has kind of made me skeptical with certain dynamics. So like individually, I feel like I have, oh my days, I feel like I have horns on my forehead now. I didn't see what I was doing until I kind of pulled back a little bit, and then I'm like, Lorraine, what are we doing? This is a whole lot of something. Oh, wow. You know what? We're just going to add more grass to my mushrooms while we're here, because we got to kind of pull all of this together now. I'm not really mad at it. It's just not what what I expected. Oh, Lord. Oh, wow. Okay, let's have another treat. Let's have another treat. Let's break this up. What else do we have in here? We have Prince Polo, the classic Raku. See, my accent, I just don't know. I just don't know, do I? We're going to actually look up real quick the Polish accent. Let's go into Google Translate, because that's the most reliable source, isn't it? And let's have a look at Poland. Polish, please. All right. Oh, well, this Olza.
Olza.
Olza. Okay, where was that other one that I was really struggling with? Here. Palushki. It sounds Russian. I keep saying it with a Russian accent. Palushki. Palushki.
Paluszki.
Palushki.
Paluszki.
Palushki.
Paluszki.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I wonder how you say that though. Klasin. Klasin. Let me say, it says classic. That's what classic means. Classic. 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 Let's see what they say.
Klasyczne.
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 Klasyczne. Interesting. One more. One more real quick. Paleski. Paleske. Paleske. Oops. Paleske. Sticks. They're called sticks.
Paleczki.
Paleczki. So when the C and the Z are together, it's shki. Paleczki. Interesting. So sticks, paleczki. Cuckoo. Rigiani.
Kukurydziane.
Kukurydziane. So paleczki kukurydziane. It sounds
Kukurydziane.
Kukurydziane. It sounds very interesting. I don't know. I feel like that's a whole other way of pronouncing things. It's like a hybrid of a language in the best of ways. Oh my God, that flower on my cheek. We're just gonna move forward. Life is too short to bother. Okay, but I do want to do something with my under eyes because there's a lot going on top, but we need more underneath. Famous last words. Famous last words. Cap rising. Laurie, you came at an interesting time, sweet soul. Have you ever seen black birds while manifesting something? I see a lot of birds, to be honest, because I'm always in nature. I see blackbirds as like a comforting omen. I don't know. It depends on where you live. Like our blackbirds are really cute around here. They collect like shiny objects and I see them as a comforting thing. So it depends where you live. Also, when my grandmother passed, she said she was coming back as a blackbird. So I got her tattooed on my arm. And I see her everywhere. So they're like a comforting omen to me. Wow, okay. Did I even explain what this was? Anyway, it looks like another wafer snack. It's got chocolate around it. Again, it's melted. It's just a huge wafer chunk. So I'm just going to bite the end and we'll see if there's any difference to the chocolate. I think the chocolate is richer, like the cocoa is rich, but it's a lot sweeter than some of the Southeast Asian chocolates we've tried in previous boxes. It's not bad. It's really nice. It makes me want to dip it in milk. Oh, it's actually really, really nice. I wish I had put this in the fridge though, so that some of the chocolate hadn't melted so much. Capricorn energy, yes, B. I'm trying to be an earth fairy, but also look at what I've done with these bloody flowers. I've got to do more up here now. Okay, so this is what I was doing with the flowers. I was kind of giving them their petals, and then I was outlining some of the petals with a darker color, and then I was putting the sort of pollen in the middle, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Dios mío. I really don't know about this. Okay, let me just do it and then ask for forgiveness later. Oh, wow. Oh
god. Should I just add more mushrooms? It's better. Stop, Ontario, you're being too nice. Oh. Dang. Dang. Yes. Polish. Oh, that is so pretty. The moons look so beautiful. Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that actually. I love it. Yes. They look realistic on YouTube. I'm so glad YouTube has my back in this case because wait till you see the photo I post afterwards. Wait till you see the photo I post afterwards. Oh my gosh. Black chickens. I love black chickens. I used to have chickens as a kid. See, that's the thing, Jude. I was smart about this. I had breakfast and then I decided to film this. So I technically don't feel hungry at all. I'm just like trying this for the sake of trying this. Oh my days, look at this. This is huge and it smells like gingerbread. Oh wow, I've got chills, literal chills. Ooh, big chills. Okay, so this is Circa Toruński, legendary schmuck. Pierniki Lukrowane iced gingerbread, apparently. Let me put it into Google Translate because I need to be real and honor the beautiful language that is Pierniki. Gingerbreads.
Pierniki.
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 Pierniki. I don't know if they roll their R's. I just roll my R's. Okay. Lukrowane. Lukrowane.
Lukrowane.
Lukrowane. Oh, the W is a V. So Pierniki Lukrowane. Iced gingerbread. Okay, love it. I wish we had been doing that from the beginning. Yes, Jude, I agree. You guys are being too nice about this flower. The other ones kind of look a bit better. All right, let me open this and get it ready for our next tasting. I'm just going to finish this flower off though. I shouldn't have brought the black eyeliner. That was just too much for this look. A lot too much. Please. Okay. Let's hope this isn't a complete fail. Oh, hi. We might use this. All right. Let's use like a bright yellow. Oh no. I am frowning too much. There we go. That's a little bit better, I guess. It's just, oh wait, don't frown, Lorraine. Why was I frowning so much? Okay, just relax. Oh my god. I didn't tell you the funnest part about this makeup look, you guys. The most exciting part about this look is I have to do this again in a week's time and I will be in public. I'm going as a fairy to a music festival for Halloween and this was kind of like a rough, what do you call it? Like a practice run, I guess. So I've learned a lot and I mean the mushrooms are cute. I would definitely do those again. The flowers, questionable. The vines, questionable. The eye situation, questionable. I'm very skeptical about any of that looking good in a festival setting, but that's the best thing about doing practice runs. You learn a heck of a lot, don't you? You really do. Let's see what else we've got. An extra mushroom on the other side. You know what? Let's just bring the mushrooms back because they were a lot of fun to do too.
Life is too short to not do the things you enjoy. Let's put them down here. I really like my freckles. So I'm just going to do them around my freckles. And my moles and my beauty spots. Let's do a big one down here. I suppose you do need to be aware of the shape of a mushroom though, and what having that on your face could look like. Like I won't do one that way, for example. We'll just do them facing away from my mouth. Yay! I feel confident about this. I think this is a good decision. What else? Literally, Jude. That's where I went wrong. I was doing outlining here and then I was like, eek, shading. So I did the shading on this side. I don't know if you can see it well. And then I decided to do shading on the others. I should have done that from the beginning. I don't know why I just went in there like I was, you know, Bob Ross outlining these things. I did the confidence I had was ridiculous. I have lost a makeup brush. Is this her? No. Where did she go? Is she back here? If she is, oh, welcome. Okay. Honestly, I did not have a reference photo. I had my imagination and I overestimated the strength of my imagination. I've got a lot of different makeup palettes in front of me, to be honest with you. I have this beautiful Matrix makeup palette from XX Revolution, which is from Lulicat Tarot. I also have this Take Me Back to Brazil makeup palette from BH Cosmetics. I love BH Cosmetics makeup palettes. They're affordable, they're high pigmented, really easy to use formulas, and their shipping to Australia is very efficient. Okay, let's do these mushies. Wait, I was supposed to see if there was anything in the chat that I should talk about. Yes, it honestly, Jude, it makes a lot more sense. I should have done the shading because if you're drawing, if you're adding color to a surface, that's how you do it. So that makes a lot more sense. Anyway, I'm keen to do more mushrooms. I am so keen to do more mushrooms. Let's start. Let's get them done. And then I can take a bite of that gingerbread. Okay. I can't see very well. I picked a really awkward place. But I hope it's looking good. What are some of your manifestation techniques? I'd be so curious to know, especially if you're still here, B. What are your manifestation techniques? Okay. Where did I get that beautiful red color from? That's the real question. Hey, here she is. Okay. Oh, that's so cute. So when I smile, it's kind of on the ball of my cheek. Oh, that's a little bit precious. Okay, 10 out of 10 would recommend the mushrooms. I kind of wish I just did mushrooms everywhere, like I have mushrooms on my eyelids. Could you imagine? That would have been so cute. Instead of doing the flowers. I don't think the flowers were necessary. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, it comes together so well. Break my heart, say you love me forever. Let me just clean this brush up and we'll add some shading. Yes, Pinterest boards are such a good idea. Oh my gosh, especially because then you have it there digitally. I like visualization boards, but when you're away from home, having it on your wallpaper can be good, or like your lock screen. Otherwise, a Pinterest board sounds like a really good, powerful manifestation technique for sure, especially just with visualizing. Yeah, that's so interesting, Jude. Honestly, I just find that other aspects of my needs become a bit more heightened. Like, I love tarot, but I don't always want to watch tarot all the time. And I think that's just because we naturally need to get into a space where we can trust ourselves more and where we can feel like we're getting the most out of our earthly experience. And what I love about tarot is I love being able to see so much. I love being able to really predict and project, but life isn't always about knowing, life is about living. So when I am consuming too much tarot, I find myself craving experience more. And we all have different personalities, so it really just depends on what you need and want. But I think it's totally healthy to go through periods where you are not always consuming tarot readings. Tarot can be a powerful tool of self-discovery and affirmation, but it's not supposed to be the only thing that you feel you can rely on. It should be a supplement. It should never be a dependence. So if I feel I'm becoming too dependent, I then start to notice how I'm being drawn in other directions instead. And for me and my personality personally, like I am someone who needs to stay grounded a lot. I love to be grounded, and if I don't have enough of that feeling of certainty and connection to my life through my experiences, I start to crave them. I start to crave my nature walks, my bush walks, my hikes. I start to crave the water, the beach, the creeks. I start to crave family. I start to crave food, like just experiences in that way. So it does depend on your personality, but definitely it's natural to sometimes crave tarot and then to other times feel like you just gotta get out there and live. That's totally natural. If anything, it's a prime example of making sure that you're living your life. You're not just trying to project and predict it. I love using tarot to help enhance the experience that I'm having. But if I'm using tarot as too much of a dopamine hit, then I know that I'm not using it responsibly, because I am someone that gets very attached to what makes me feel good. Okay. There we go. I just gotta add some highlights. Oh wait, here we go. These are actually low lights. I don't know why I said highlights. And we have mushrooms. Yes! Okay, so what do we look like now? eat some gingerbread. Mm. Mm. Gingerbread is just the taste that keeps on giving, isn't it? Oh my gosh. My eyes. My eyes. It's really nice. And they were heart shapes. I gotta eat the other side now to make it even. Oh, this is amazing. This with some milk or some hot chocolate, delicious. Those were my favorite. Okay, so like, I'm clearly into the sweets today. That was amazing. So those were called Turunski by Karmic Circa. It is the Torin gingerbread in Poland. They're gingerbread cookies made from a traditional and secret recipe by a company that has been one of the leading Polish gingerbread producers since 1763. That's why the recipe is good. They knew what worked and they stuck to it. That's like 200 and something years. 260 years? Crazy. Yes. Mushrooms and gnomes. Oh my god. I feel like you're just playing with me now. I can't do gnomes on here. Just have the gnome here. Oh my god, have it just creeping up my neck. I think you have too much faith in my makeup abilities. I could not. I appreciate the suggestion because that would be an amazing look, but I don't think I can physically do that. Labradorite heart. I love that. Wow, I need to go to those woods, Hannah. I need to see a red mushroom in real life. I don't think I've seen a red mushroom before. I have seen ones that look similar, but not like this. All right, I'm trying to bring some more earthly sort of energy into this by smoking out my eye a little bit. But I don't know if that is going to be good based on what I am seeing. No, no, it's not good. It's not a look. Should we do brown lips? Sorry, I'm just doing this to see. No, no, no. I think I just gotta call it there, you guys. It's either going to get way worse or slightly better, and I don't think I want to take that risk. I don't think I want to take that risk. Way worse or slightly better. You know what I do need to do though? I need to put a little highlight in my crease, in my corner, my inner corner. Unbreak my heart. There we go. She's shining. Oh Lord in heaven. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse. Rookie number 1 mistake is not tapping your brushes free from excess powder. Okay, we're gonna have to just put some gloss on with some mascara and call it a day because this is gonna get way worse. Let me just curl my eyelashes and read some of your manifestation ideas because I'm very curious about what you're saying. Oh, bless. I hope you do. It's such a fun way of just experiencing your personality, for sure. I love experimenting with makeup, especially on days when you don't have to go anywhere because then you can just have fun with it. Okay, I have to go to a serious ceremony later for my brother's school, and I'm I can't go like this, so I'm just going to enjoy this look for the rest of the private time that I have, and then I'm going to have to wash it off. Dang. Okay, what were we talking about though? The whole fairy kingdom, could you imagine? Oh my god, just start painting the whole fairy kingdom on my face. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm not mad at it, but I think it's mad at me because we're not having a lot of success with this mascara. I feel like the look itself is like you could have done way better. You could have tried to add more shading to those leaves. Actually, speaking of, yes, I could have. Let's... Where did that brush go? If I can't find the brush, surely that's a sign that I've just got to... Oh no, here, it's here. I was going to say, surely that's a sign that I've just got to leave it how it is. Okay, it's subtle, but it will make all the difference once I take a photo of this and show you all. Hi! Oh my gosh. I feel like some people have just joined at the most random time. Oh, I wonder if dogs look at seals like we do mermaids. That's actually a crazy, crazy thought. Honestly, though. I love the idea of a manifestation journal as well, B. That's such a good idea. Just to get everything down, to have a record, to remind you, and to help set that intention. I always firmly believe you should write down your manifestations, or if you're not comfortable with writing, because I know that not a lot of people are literate, you can always speak it into existence and repeat it in your mind. But if you can writing it down can be a powerful way. And keeping a manifestation journal can also help keep you accountable by checking up on your manifestation, looking at it again. Is there anything else I can do while I'm waiting for the universe? Nope. Okay. Let me just helpfully distract myself and keep visualizing the successful outcome. I think a key part of radical manifestation is about being at the right place at the right time as well. So if you are manifesting something quite radical, quite different to what you're currently experiencing, it's important that you push yourself to physically be in places or around people that you don't usually associate with, because that can help you physically obtain the opportunities that you are radically manifesting. It's, for example, going to be highly unrealistic of you to manifest a drastic increase in your income unless you start putting yourself in places and positions to receive that money by associating with the right kind of people, or by kind of trying to push yourself to visit places that you feel would align with that kind of income. And then it's the same with sort of radically manifesting a soulmate or someone who could be a significant other, a love interest. If you're so isolated and alone right now, it's going to be hard for that person to physically come in. So allowing that radical manifestation would be very much about trying to physically be in places that you wouldn't usually be in, so that you can have a higher chance of coming into alignment with that manifestation. Little things like that. That's why I firmly believe, like, if you can see it and believe it, it can happen. You just have to align as much as you can with what the universe is conspiring for you. Beautiful ideas though, manifesting. What do we look like now? Oh, not too bad. I feel like I do need to do something on my lips though. You know what? Before we do that, what else do we have to eat in here? Is there anything left? Oh, there is. There is. There's one more thing to try. Oh my god, I am rich for wafers. We have family wafers. Oh my gosh. This is a dream come true. You have no idea. I love wafers. When I tried this, I was like, please let there be more wafers. Okay, so let's read about this real quick. This is called Family Cream Wafers. It is crispy, thick wafers with delicious vanilla flavored cream produced by Familjené, one of the most leading Polish brands in Poland for wafer biscuits. Okay, let's crack it open. A red lip? Oh, I see what you mean. That would make sense. A red lip would match my mushrooms. Maybe red with a little bit of pink. Oh, these are like your classic wafer biscuits. We have these in Australia. I think a lot of places. Classic. So good. Oh my gosh. I can tell they use soy too. That is so good. Holy heck. Where's the ingredients? Like I can even read this beautiful language, but I'm pretty sure they use soy. Skim milk powder and soy. Or for the emulsifier, that makes sense. It just tastes so good. I love soy. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's find a red lipstick. You know what I should have done? I should have done like a brown and red on my eyelids, and I should have made the flowers more red, and I should have just stuck with red. Why did I add pink into this? Oh, you guys are too nice. But I did do a good Spirit Talks episode on that. I did. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was a lot of fun. And just because it felt really liberating being able to talk about those sorts of things, I had a lot of fun. I can't stress that enough. Okay. I don't have any pink lipstick in here. That's annoying. Sorry to those who didn't realize I wasn't wearing a dress. I have very purposefully only worn a top because I assumed that for most of the time you would only see the top. I've just accidentally revealed the truth. So let me just do this real quick. Ow, it's too sharp. I don't have a sharpener here though. Yes, I love that that topic. I have definitely noticed the veil thinning. I've been experiencing a lot of spiritual occurrences. I'm just trying to be careful because of how much I channel. I don't want to accidentally invite something in just because I can read its energy, you know what I mean? Love that. More, well, no, actually, because my outfit is pink, so I have to do pink mushrooms. Anyway, it'll work. It's a good idea though that this was a practice run. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't talk while I'm doing this. But I do. Actually, no, red is really good. I don't think I should put any pink in there. I think we should just leave it. I might have accidentally overlined my lips a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, I just need to fix my hair because it's supposed to be fairy-like, not this tame brushed look. Oh, you keep hearing footsteps. Sweet. Definitely make sure you feel safe. That's the main thing. Like, so not all spirits are malevolent spirits. It's just about making sure that you feel safe. I think footsteps would freak me out. That's why I reacted like that. But as long as you feel safe, that's the main thing. It's a lot on camera. You're only really seeing the bright red lips. This has been an interesting experiment, that's for sure. Would I change a lot? Yes. Am I grateful that I got to do this though? Heck yes, especially with all of you being able to join in and offer support. I would have just been freaking out by myself. That wouldn't have been any fun at all. But there's a lot that I would change next time. I feel like I did way too much. I should have just stuck to the mushroom theme. It's safe and it's fun and it's very earth fairy. I did not have to do the most with all these flowers, but that's okay. You live and you learn. It was a lot of fun though. I can't lie. I hope you guys had fun. Yes, Hannah, if you do want to protect yourself, I would highly recommend just being more mindful of the types of things you're bringing into your home, physically, objects, especially when the veil is thin. When the veil isn't thin, it's a lot easier to kind of protect against that. But just be aware of secondhand objects and bringing those things into your home. I would encourage cleansing them first. You can do that just by washing them with the intent of getting rid of any old or negative energy attached to the object. If they're not washable, I would smoke them. You can do that with incense. You don't have to smudge them with sage or Palo Santo. If that isn't available, you can use an incense, or you can even use candles to kind of put near them or around them. And you can set the intention that you are wanting to, with the heat of the candle, you don't have to apply the heat to the object, but using the flame as a point of energy, you can say, I'm wanting to cleanse the energy from this object to make sure that all negative energy, all stagnant energy has been removed. I highly recommend washing things or using smoke, just because smoke is easier to visualize. As it moves, you will notice it drift towards the nearest open window, for example. Otherwise, people as well, who you share your energy and your time with when the veil is thin, especially if you are channeling or if you're very intuitive and empathetic, you want to be aware of the kind of people you're choosing to prioritize and spend your time with. This is going to be applicable to people that you can't kind of separate from easily, like co-workers or siblings, people who are your neighbors. Just doing what you can to physically kind of separate yourself if their energy isn't aligned with yours. The other thing is animals. You may find yourself very drawn to animals. They're not a bad thing. They're always a helpful thing. Sometimes animals can see things we can't. Just being aware of the kind of animals that hang around you and being aware of how you feel when you see them. Most animals, I would say, are a positive omen, but there are certain animals that may appear or approach you to kind of warn you of something, and they may give you feelings of fear or panic. Pay attention to how you feel when you see those things. Other than that, your dreams, making sure you get enough sleep, making sure that you're prioritizing rest, because your dreams might be very interrupted. We're most vulnerable when we're unconscious. So making sure that you're getting enough sleep, and that you're, if you are experiencing disturbances while you're sleeping, it's not interrupting your recommended hours. Other than that, I do think that you should safely continue to channel or practice if you are a reader or a divinator. It's just about cleansing yourself more regularly, being aware of how much time you need to ground yourself afterwards, consuming the content safely so that you're not getting more confused and just kind of over consuming it for the sake of. When the veil is thin, you're more susceptible to kind of attract those energies towards you, in terms of things that you don't necessarily want or need. So, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure out who the hell's in my house that needs to calm down, because I've got a lot of spooky stuff happening here. I think the thing B is, with your psychic side, if you want to be more connected and aware, it is something that can't really be forced. And there are times when I need to just take a break and stop pushing it too much, because it's exhausting. And it is like a muscle that does need training, but it also needs to rest. So it's one of those things that for me, it happened naturally. And then I just had to nurture it and honor it and protect it at times. So I don't really personally have any classes or information on like mediumship or how to grow your psychic awareness, but I know that people like Charlotte from Happy Twins 1111 does medium classes, and she's really good at instructing and kind of helping you feel more confident in your abilities and channeling them. There are a lot of reputable people who can be more specific. I don't have a lot of personal experience in mentoring in that way. I'm more about the reading tarot side. When it comes to intuition, there's a lot more that I need to learn about how it is fostered individually and how we can individually connect to our intuition. And then I would feel more comfortable kind of giving you advice, if that makes sense. I feel like it's a very subjective gift, and what worked for me may not entirely work for you. The main thing that I say is, if you're opening that channel, just make sure you're protecting yourself and that you are seeing it as something that can draw a lot of attention in an unwanted way as well when it comes to spirits and energies. So protection is my primary thing, if that makes sense, at this point in my journey. I do hope to one day be more experienced in helping other people connect to their intuition as well, but I can't confidently give you advice without knowing you well and really identifying what we believe your gifts may be and how to tap into them. So that's pretty much what I could say for that. In terms of strengthening your intuition though, I do have some techniques that I do. I believe that your intuition is a very quiet voice. It's a very quiet feeling. It's a very quiet knowing. It's something that doesn't flourish in loud environments. That is more your instinct, your gut instinct, your survival instincts. We, in order to honor and nurture our intuition, need to be in more quieter, softer, safer places. So I would highly recommend meditating or trying to get yourself into a state of peace and safety and comfort. And that is usually associated with having your eyes closed and being in a quiet room that you feel safe and comfortable in. But for me, my intuition comes out when I'm journaling. Sometimes when I'm driving and I'm listening to music quietly, I get downloads. It's just about creating a safe space so that your primary instinct isn't active or overactive, so that you can kind of honor and really tune into the messages you're receiving. The way I see my intuition is this tiny niggling feeling. And before I was really focused on it, it always felt like a strong kind of, in moments that it wanted me to pay attention to it, and in moments where my guides were really trying to connect with me, it became stronger. But 9 times out of 10, it was the quietest voice in the room, and I had to give it a quiet space to come out in a more confident way. So I feel like connecting and strengthening your intuition is about knowing how it manifests for you. For me, it's a clear knowing and a strong sort of feeling that I get. Other people hear things, see things, get downloads through meditation. They are able to visualize and have visions. But for me, it's mostly a feeling. And sometimes when I'm channeling, I can see things and hear things, but it's more of like a really strong feeling. And I know how to kind of feel it now, if that makes sense. But in the beginning, it was very soft and very easily drowned in louder noises and louder situations and louder distractions. So strengthening your intuition is about getting comfortable in a quiet place so that you can understand what it sounds like, what it feels like, and then really kind of channeling it and falling back into it when you're asking questions. For me, when I connect with my intuition, it feels like it's coming from kind of here and here. And that makes a lot of sense to me because it's like my heart and my third eye. But when I'm confused, I kind of feel it in my head, just here with my throat chakra. This just gets really active. So I hope that's helpful. Intrusive thoughts, yeah. And honestly, same. I don't meditate successfully when I'm too overactive in my mind and with my intrusive thoughts. So I usually need to meditate while I'm exercising. And for me, that's about mindfulness. It's not about being still, it's about being calm. So I like to go for long walks, and while I'm walking, I just let my thoughts come and go without controlling them. And that's me getting into a state of mindfulness. I then focus on my breathing while I'm walking. I look around, I notice the trees that I'm passing, I notice the grass changing color as I'm walking across it, and I just try to get very present with my exercise. And then I notice, how I'm feeling, and usually by that point I'm feeling really calm. And if there's something that I want clarity on, that's when I ask about it. But I usually have it written down so that it's not just sitting at the forefront of my mind while I'm trying to get into that mindful place. But if you do struggle sitting still or just sort of being quiet, then focus more on being calm. And that can come out through doing a repetitive action like walking or doing the dishes or folding clothes or drinking tea or coffee in the morning. You can be mindful without having to be still and without having your eyes closed. It's more about getting calm and helping your thoughts come and go without too much restriction and control. But yes. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, that sounds a lot like when I was first awakening Cassandra. I think protecting yourself then would be a lot more about making sure that the messages you're getting are coming from reliable sources. So don't be afraid to start talking more and chanting more. And when I was younger, we prayed a lot. We would pray to our ancestors, we would pray to God, we would pray and we would ask for support from specific people. So mum and my grandmother taught me culturally to pray to loved ones who had passed on and to ask them for guidance and support because they were closest to source. And nowadays, I know my spiritual team fairly well and I've become really good with my kind of picking up on things with my abilities. So I like to call out specific spirits that I work with. But if I'm unsure and if I was still learning, what I used to do was I would constantly cleanse my house with smoke. I would constantly scrub my body with salt because when I channeled in the beginning, I just felt like I was always being depleted. So the salt helped protect me and recharge me. I used to do like salt scrubs. I used to buy them at first, but then I wanted to make it myself, and it's pretty easy to make yourself. You just use a really fine salt. It doesn't have to be really coarse. And that would just help me to cleanse myself and protect myself. I use salt with one of my favorite essential oils, as well as like jojoba oil or coconut oil, and I would just scrub myself in the shower. And not too much oil because you wash that off, but you don't wash it off with soap. Usually afterwards you feel really moisturized and safe. And then while I was channeling or while I was sleeping, I would channel with crystals of protection, and I would channel with crystals that helped me clarify my messages. So labradorite or moonstone and amazonite is really helpful for me because I struggle with over explaining things sometimes. I don't think I need to tell you that. And then smoky quartz I always keep around me, or obsidian. and black tourmaline. So crystals work a lot because they can contribute to the energy of the room, they can contribute to your energy, but it's about honoring them as a part of your practice, cleansing them regularly as well. So if that's too complicated, just working with natural resources like water, salt, and smoke could be helpful in protecting your energy and your communication. Don't be afraid to talk to the energy in your house. Tell it, if you're negative, you need to leave. If you have bad intentions, if you're not here to help me and to be supportive of what I need, please leave. If you're not here with good intentions, please leave. And if it feels like it's still there, you need to be more assertive and aggressive and say you need to leave now. And that's where I like to do the whole chant of, I call upon my angels, my ancestors, my spirit guides, help me get rid of this negative energy, please, and help me remove this negative energy from my house, my cards, my home, and the people in it. So that can be really helpful. Don't discredit the power of your voice, because that is what really sets the intention and can help move that energy as well. Pink salt is so good for scrubbing. As long as it's really fine, it's so good. Big yes. But anyway, you guys, I think I'm going to leave it there because I feel like we've been doing this for a while. Thank you so much for tuning in though, everybody. I appreciate you for dropping in, and for some of you for being here the whole time. I'm very grateful. I wish I could have tasted this with you because I'm looking at it now and there's so much left over. It would have been really good to share this with somebody, but I guess it'll be me and my brother eating them for the rest of the week. Thank you so much for all of your interaction, your energy, your support, for helping me figure this out. I do not mind what we came up with, but I am going to take a photo of it for you so you can actually see what it looks like in real life, and then I think you will realize how crazy it is. But that is where I'm going to have to love you and leave you, beautiful people. I wish you so much love, so much support, and I hope that this stream has been helpful for you, even if we were just hanging out and listening to each other.